Hello everyone, I'm Bruno, and today I'm solving the MartiniAD box from HackSmarter. This is an easy rated active directory machine with a very simple attack service. Aimed for beginners, it's a nice box to build good enumeration habits. Sometimes the easiest path is overlooked, and in this simple box we can learn some good best practice, and it's a very nice add-on to your skills. For this box, I've started with some Nmap scans, and from the results it was clear that the server could have some misconfigurations in place. So I end up enumerating shares with a null session, and that revealed a document containing user credentials. From there, I was able to enumerate users and found a user account with a register SPN. I did a Kerberoasting attack to retrieve the account hash that I cracked using Hashcat. I then reused the password on an account with a similar name and connected to the box via Evil-WinRM, where I found that the account was indeed a domain administrator account. Since the goal of the box was to get the anti-hash for the krbtgt account, I did a DCSync attack and got the hash. So let me show you how I did it. Take some notes and let's begin. Let's begin with an Nmap scan to find out the open ports on the server. So sudo nmap scan all ports, avoid post discovery, give me just open ports, save the output in the normal format on the file, open ports, MartiniAD, and the IP of the server. This could take a while to run, so I already run it. Let's show the results. And we have a list of open ports. Now we need to get a list of those open ports separated by commas. Let me copy a command here to do just that. Let me clear the screen, paste the command, execute it, and now we have all the ports on this variable, and we can run the second nmap command to give me more information on just on those open ports. So sudo nmap, specify the ports, all the ports on this variable, then avoid the pings, do an aggressive scan, and save the output in nmap ports info MartiniAD, and the IP of the server, which is this one. I already run it, of course, so let me just grab that file. Okay, so let's review the results. We have port 53 running simple DNS plus, which means that the server is actively resolving network names for the domain. We have Kerberos on port 88. And also on port 464 we have the Kerberos change password service. We have RPC on port 135, SMB 139, and also 445. And we have LDAP on port 389 and also 636. And these two also. These are all LDAP ports. And we have the domain name here. We also have remote access via RDP 3389. We have the computer name here, DC01, and the domain. and WinRM on port 5985. And here we have the AD web services and a bunch of RPC based services running. Down here we have the SMB security mode, message signing enabled but not required. So not required, this is not expected in a domain controller. It means that the system administrator may have implemented a relaxed config policy. So at this point, I'm wondering if there are other misconfigurations as well, like null sessions or anonymous access, something like that. Okay, we'll check all of that, but now I'm going to copy the computer name, clear the screen, and add an entry to our hosts file. We need the IP. I don't know the IP, so let me start with the computer name. Now I want the domain name and also something like MartiniAD because it's quicker to write. And now I need the IP. Let me grab it and paste it here. Let's hit tab, and now I have the IP, the computer name, the domain name, and something easy to type. So save it, quit, and now let's start by checking if we can list shares using a null session. So NetExec, SMB protocol, MartiniAD, and now we need a blank username, a blank password, and shares. Let's see if this works. And yes, it works. So what we have here, we have the normal shares and these nodes here. So let's see what's in the nodes using smbclient, MartiniAD, nodes. No password, so hit enter. Let's list the share, and we have a file. So let's grab the file, exit, clear the screen. Let's see what's in the file. And yes, we have credentials here. So you have credentials for the user mprice, and then this password, asterisk, Martini, asterisk. Okay, let's see if the credentials are valid. So let's go up and use mprice, the password. It's Martini, like this. Let's check it. And it works. So the credentials are valid. And the first thing I like to do when I have a fresh set of credentials is to list users. So let's grab the last command and let's do users export. and specify file user.txt. And it's working, so we have users. So let's clear the screen. So now that we have a list of users, the first thing I like to do when I have a new password, it's to spray the password. So let's use NXC, SMB, MartiniAD. For the user now, we can use the users.txt file. Now the password that we have, Martini, and we have to specify continue on success, because otherwise it will stop on the user and price. So let's see if we get lucky. So the password works for user and price, as expected, of course, and nothing more. So no luck. So let's move on. We have, let's see, the users again. So we have all of these users. We have the administrator, the guest account, the krbtgt, because this is a Kerberos domain controller. We have the mprice, and then we have Athena T0 and Athena SVC. Athena SVC screams service account, because this normally it is a service account. This one here ending with T0 must be a tier 0 account, meaning that this user, maybe it's an administrator account. We'll see. But let's start with Athena service account, because if it is indeed a service account, it almost certainly has an SPN register. So let's check it. Let's clear the screen. Let's use Impacket. GetUserSPN. Impacket GetUserSPNs. Yeah. So output file, let's call it hashes.krb. Then we need the IP of the domain controller, and now we need the domain dry.martini bars / the username and price column and the password Martini, and let's see if it works. Error. Dry. Oh, I have an error here on the domain. It's a dot. Let's try it again, and it worked. So we have an entry, and let's see the hash. So let's copy this first part of the string. Let's open a browser. Let's search for Hashcat examples. Go to the first link. Control F to find, paste the string, and we have this module 13100 for Kerberos 5 TGS rep. So let's get back to the terminal, clear the screen, and use Hashcat with the module 13100. The attack mode is going to be straight, 0. Then the file hashes, the word list, user, share word list rockU. And since we are on a virtual machine, I will use --force. And let's try to crack the hash. Okay, so we have a password. One dirty martini. It's the password. Let's copy it. And clear the screen. And as always, every time I have a new password, I do a password spray. This time, let me show you the users. We already have a password for mprice and Athena SVC. So there's no need for a password spray. We only care for this one. So we should try this user directly. So let's go. So NetExec SMB MartiniAD. Now the user Athena.t0. The password. Let's paste it. And let's see if it works. Okay, it worked. We don't have pawn, but let's try WinRM. And we have pawn here. So we can connect via WinRM. Let me clear the screen. And so let's use Evil-WinRM to connect. -I MartiniAD. The username Athena T0 and the password 130 martini. Okay, it works. So who am I? I'm Athena T0. Now let's check our groups. Oh, so we belong to the administrators group and also the domain admins. Okay, so we are domain admins. And let's see. Oh, this box doesn't have any flag. So let's go here to the HackSmarter website. Let me go down, and as you can see, we don't have flags for this box. They want the krbtgt and t-hash. So let's get back to the terminal. So we can exit this one because we don't need it anymore. So the useful information was that we are administrator with this account. So let me clear the screen. We don't have flags for this box. They want the NTLM hash for the krbtgt account. If you don't know what this account is, it's a built-in disabled service account in every Active Directory domain. It acts as the key distribution center service account. It's the backbone of Kerberos ticket-based authentication. So every domain has exactly one krbtgt account. So we have credentials for an administrator account. So we can do a DCSync attack and grab the NTLM hash. Okay, so let's use Impacket secretsdump. Impacket secretsdump. And normally this command will give us all the hashes for all the users on the server. But that can take a while, and we just need a specific user. So let's grab just DC user and specify the user. So we want the krbtgt account, and now I specify the domain try martini bars / and the user is athena.t0, and now we have one dirty martini as the password, and you have to specify the IP, so MartiniAD. So we have the account here, the hash, and the second part of the hash, this portion here, is the NTLM portion of the hash. So this is the correct answer for the box. Okay, so key points for this box. We started with a message on the Nmap scan on the SMB security mode, saying that message signing enabled but not required. So I assumed that the system administrator had implemented a weak configuration policy. From there, with a possible weak configuration policy, I thought, well, if this is somehow wrong here, could it be that there are other misconfigurations in place? And that's why I try a null session. So the thing is, whenever you think that something is off, try everything. Null sessions, anonymous access, and there are these are things that you should try no matter what. So even if you have credentials, take a step back and try null sessions and anonymous login. Sometimes you get lucky and you can have some good results with that. Then the next key point, with new credentials, always try to list users, because sometimes when we are listing users, sometimes in the comments, in the results of the -- users flag on NetExec, we have some comments, sometimes with credentials or other useful information. So, and like this box here, we didn't have any useful information in the comments, but we had in the usernames. So we had two usernames very similar, and one ending in SVC. So that's why I assumed it was a service account. So for the next key point, if we have a service account, always check for SPNs, because that could give us hashes, and normally those hashes are not easy to crack, because if they are automatically generated, the passwords, it's not easy to crack those hashes. But sometimes system administrators can define themselves the passwords, and if we are lucky, we can crack the password. Next key point, always with new passwords, always do password spray. So try every password with every username that you have. Today I didn't do it. Well, I start by doing it with the first credentials, but I got nothing. On the second, the password that I got, I didn't do it because there wasn't any usernames that could benefit from a password spray, except that one Athena T0, because the username was very similar to the service account. So I when I saw those usernames, I thought to myself, well, maybe this is the same password. And you should do that assumption. But if we had a lot of users on this box, for example, I would try the password for every user, because you never know. And that's it. That's the box. Hope you enjoy it. Bye.